Welcome to the Trading Lounge and the Day Ahead Report. Markets are either going up or down, or they're going sideways, and that's what they're doing at the moment. They're going sideways. This is the S&P 500 here on a 20-minute chart, and it's in Group 2 here, the 65, 72 and the 80, and it seems to be sort of holding in there. But the positive aspect with this is that we've got an A and a B and a C correction here. And we can see the five-wave structure in here in terms of down for 1, little ABC for 2, down for 3, ABC for the 4th, and little five-wave structure down for wave C here. So it also appears that we've got an impulse wave to the upside here. So an impulse wave is 5 waves. So we should see some sort of five-wave structure within here. You can break that down if you like. Then an ABC structure that should come into through here, and then we should see this push up through here. So, well, that's a positive for all the markets. The FTSE's following the S&P 500. The S&P 500 and the Australian dollar are correlated. They're moving together. So we should see the AUD push up higher. The euro is lagging, so that's not moving there just yet, as the US dollar is still in a small correction, retesting the 80, even though it probably won't get there before it fails and continues to move down, which will give the indices and other markets to the upside. So this is the S&P 500 here. So we're just looking at that little pattern within here, but as you can see, it's sitting quite squarely within within here, and it's got support within Group 2 here. So yeah, look, once it finds support on top of 72, then we'll see further upside in that market. And the Dow Jones is much the same sort of pattern, as you can see here. And as we mentioned, that when we got to the 13,500, the 500, the number 5, second strongest number, it just always, most of the time, very high probability that it delivers a psychological pull. And yeah, so look, but even so, we've got this little correction here that's fine, but we should see a little five-wave structure to the upside through here, and then another move back down onto this as well. And this move up through here, if we do get this five-wave structure up through here, that would leave the S&P 500 quite close to the 1500, which is a medium level. So that's going to be another glass ceiling there as well. So, but let's just track our little structure here to the upside. But yeah, look, it's kind of positive, and we should see things lift a little bit. Not all markets, but most of them. Okay, so the Australian market, yeah, look, I mean, there's the 1 hour chart, as I mentioned before. It's we're looking we know that it's corrected because of that 3-wave move there, so that's a corrected amount. So we know that once this is completed, then we should see some upside. You can see that the resistance here is well in first of using the levels, Group 1, 10, 20 and 30. If a market finds itself support on top of the 30, then it separates itself from the closest largest number. In this case here, we're kind of looking for a 3-wave correction in sort of an ABC sort of pattern. It's pretty sort of messy and ugly here, but once again, if we get support on the 47.20, the 72 number, then terrific. That's your first start. But the question, what is support? And as I mentioned many times, the breakout's important, but the retest is more important. So it needs to test, and if you've got volume on your chart, then the retest coming down needs to be on lower volume than the move up, and that will tell you that there's no sellers in the market, and you'll find support there. But while the price is under the 47.20, the bias is weak, and the distance that went above the closest largest number here was to the 50, the midpoint, so that would leave us in Group 2 down here as support. So the 46.50 here, but I know there's volume support in this subgroup 2 area here. So we just need to allow that to play out. The base metals they're kind of weak, but they're kind of steady at the same time as well. But the bias is softer rather than more positive, and we'll have a look at that now actually. Okay, so looking at copper, the first thing that we need to take into consideration is, yes, we as I mentioned yesterday, we know that we're in a big triangle pattern, and it can break lower at any stage, and in fact it's broken out of 65, 72 and 80. It's outside of that, so that just creates a weak bias straight up. It certainly can pop back up there as well, but as it stands, it's weak, and we can see that, and we know that too when we're looking at BHP. This is US BHP here at 80. Our local, and 8's a profit-taking number. It's just a profit-taking number, and wherever you see it, and the local BHP is at 38 as well. So we're talking about the material sector here, and any material sector throughout the world will be in the same sort of thing here. We can also look at Rio as well. With Rio here, we can see it's at 68 here. Okay, so we know that 65 is a medium level. So that's the that's that's that there, and the medium level will be at 65 here. So you know the 68 is important as a profit-taking number, and you need to take profit there as well at 8 when you're trading. So 65 is where Rio is playing out, and you can also see here that with Rio, we've actually got a little 5-wave structure to the downside here in terms of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. If you can see that on the daily chart there. So that really means that we're in a corrective move, and because we've got 5 down, it means we're going to get another 5 down after we get a little retest here of supply in there somewhere like that. We should get this sort of pattern, which really is an A and a B and a C pattern. Once that's completed, we should see support back up on the 65 and then move up there. So look, that's the material sector, which is important, you know, as the finance sector is as well. So yeah, the gold market. Okay, so with the gold market here, as mentioned yesterday, we're looking for, because it's above the 1650, it's positive in that light, but the move that we've got up through here counts just as well as a corrective pattern, as probably more so than it does an impulse wave. And what I mean by that is an A wave to here, an A and a B and a C wave for the B wave to here, and then a C wave up here. Now the C wave up here, C wave's always in 5 waves, so we should see something like the 1, the 2 here. The third wave is just finished here. I'd imagine that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can have one more little push up through there, not that it matters, because we'll see a larger correction unfold across the top of the 1680 there. That can come down to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree, and the 5th wave here can be as long as the wave 1 here, long as it's not shorter than the 3rd wave. Can't be the shortest in that sequence there. So we can look to around the 1690 for that. So we're looking for a high up here. So once that completes itself up here, then we have to, you know, be mindful that the A, the B and the C wave is completed, and we can see downside through there. There is a positive count here, and it counts like this. It's up for 1 here, and an A and a B and a C here for wave 2. That's it's a running correction, running flat, which is kind of unusual. There's 3 types of flat corrections: the normal regular flat, the expanded flat, and the running flat. So it's possible, but we would need to see a very strong move here to sort of satisfy the fact that this is a running correction. So there's more bias that the A, the B and the C is correct, and we could see more downside from that, and that would be the same with silver, of course. The oil, not much change here, and we are looking for a top. We know that in the bigger picture we've got a trend line support through here. This is the daily chart here, and the trend line support just really comes through. It's gone a bit wonky there, but through there as such, like that. So, you know, that is playing a part. The 95 here is also playing a part as well. 5 second strongest number. You have to expect that to occur there. We also can see that, you know, the market trended quite nicely on this 4-hour chart up through here, but it's just getting, you know, starting to creep, you know, starting to get tired through here. So, you know, we're seeing a corrective pattern through here. It does appear to be corrective in the A wave here, so the B and the C will be part of the corrective pattern, and perhaps one more push here in line with stock as well, so oil can follow indices. But look, the main point here is that it's not going far, so it's not something that you would trade at the moment, so we don't need to spend time on that. Let's have a look at the US dollar, euro and the AUD. Okay, the US dollar here, it just appears that since I've written the report, while the US markets are still travelling in the afternoon session, that the US dollar's popped up through here, so that means that the euro would have dropped lower and also put pressure on the Australian dollar as well. But as mentioned before, what we were looking for is a retest of 80, and I thought it might get sort of stuck here. Look, it seemed to be the case, but it does seem to be pushing up now. So we've pretty much got our corrective pattern sort of 2/3 complete, in terms that we've got like an A wave here, because that's in 3 waves here. We've got the B wave here in 3 waves, and we'll be looking for a C wave to the upside, which would be the 1, the 2, be the 3, the 4, and the 5 here. So perhaps $1.80.10 or something, and then basically struggle at that point through there. But in terms of trading, the Elliott can help us with the direction, but when it comes to trading, we need to trade what we see, and what we see is support and resistance, and does something have support or not is the question, and then the price points and managing the risk to scale into that particular trade. So as it stands at the moment, this is completing its little structure up through here, so that means the euro would have been pushing down to wave 4, which is to the wave. This is the euro here, sorry, on 1 hour, and we were looking for, it was only natural for this to fold back over into the top of group 1 here, the 133. So that's unfolding, and this is the volume support area in through here. It does appear that this is either an extended this is either the A, the B, and the C wave down through here, and this can be the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 down through to here. That's still got a bit more to go in through here, or we've got, this is going to come down further through here in terms of down for 1, back for 2, then down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 4 and 5 down to here a little bit further. So the distance that went above here was 1 full point to the 34, so we can see it come back down through here while the US dollar is retesting 80 as well. The main point is, it's actually quite good that for going long, once this correction's finished, it's quite good that it actually comes down through the 133, because if it gets back up there and finds support, then it's come down. We know that it's tested lower, there's buyers down here, there's support here, and it's moved back up and found support on the closest largest number, and that really gives us an inward road to scale in through group 1 as such through here. So yeah, so let's just allow that to play out through there. So that means the Australian dollar will be pulling back into 1.550, which it is, so that's good. Now, the thing here is that if I just find a larger chart here for a moment, just bear with me. A bit messy after coming back from holidays. So, one of the good things here is this move up here had always been a bit messy, and we've labelled it as a corrective move up through here, and it would only be natural for it to come back into 105 as well. However, this little move down here was in sort of 5 waves through here, and this can certainly be an A, and then a little smaller A, smaller B, and a C coming up through here and moving down as well. So finding support on this 105.72 subgroup 2 area. Well, it's actually micro group 2 actually, but group 2 all the same. Support on that would be the long trade to the upside. That said, this particular pattern through here does also offer the opportunity for further upside here. Now, if we come back to this chart here, this is just a 5-minute chart through here, so we could consider this being an impulse wave to the upside in line with the S&P 500, and this would be an impulse wave up, so an A and a B and a C. So if it does come back below these numbers here, which it can, because the US dollar's got further to push up, so we should be able to see an A and a B and a C here. So if it does drop in 3 waves here, then an A, B, and C through here, and then climbs back up here, you could probably glean a small position through here, and then look to add further up through here, because we'd be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the upside. Okay, so just keep an eye out for that. Alrighty, well, that's really about it actually. So in a bit of a nutshell with all of this, we want the US dollar to finish its retest into 80. Once that's completed, then we should see stocks push to the upside. And as I mentioned before, the Dow Jones at 13,500 is doing its correction. The S&P through Group 2 is doing its correction. The ASX 200 is doing its correction across 4,700, as the FTSE is doing its thing across the 60,100 as well. Once they're completed, we should see a push to the upside. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the completion of these corrections, and then we should get a small trend to the upside. So any trading done at the moment should be, well, using a bit of caution, using smaller position sizing, and shorter trading ranges as well. Small profits are a good profit, as is a small loss as well. So just keep it light, because we can't confirm a trend at the moment, but looking at this little structure to the upside here is the first inclination of a impulse wave to the upside, and the AUD and the S&P 500 have a correlation. They are working together, more so than the euro and the S&P 500. So just bear that in mind if you're trading currencies or indices as well. Just check around the other market drivers to see what's going on there. Alrighty, well, that's it. So good morning and good luck.